Tonight, from First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
This taken in about 4 yards deep. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Here's the Cleveland offense, and here's Baker Mayfield, former Heisman Trophy winner, ready to go at quarterback.
It was so interesting in the run-up to the draft to talk with different scouts. I got one to tell me that in his notes he wrote down, Mayfield, brash, happy-go-lucky, plays the same way, barely restrained improv act that frustrates opponents and sometimes his own coaches, but produces plenty of highlights. What do you think of that?
First carry for Nick Chubb. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. And it's complete. Hooper. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A big pickup of 38. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. They showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku there to make the grab. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury. And it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. He finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Matthew McCrane on for the PAT. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Green to bring it back. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. We get our first look now at Carson Wentz and this Philadelphia Eagle offense.
Not only does he look the part, he plays it as well. Tall, prototypical-looking pocket passer with better athletic ability than what people think. Gets outside of the pocket and makes big plays downfield.
Now first down carry by Sanders, well defensed as they'll hold him to just a couple. 2nd down coming up.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And his throw here's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And he's taken down. Brown sack. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now. 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
3rd down and 12.
Mike 42, Mike 42. He don't know no better.
Delayed game, offense.
Are you serious?
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. From the gun, Mayfield. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. And he floated one out there incomplete.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is, and running back dropped it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
On the tackle. A 2-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 8.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Green to bring it back. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Green on the return.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, here's the option. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that.
There we go.
Lead. Hurts fumbles it.
Oh,
and this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
You know, if this is the regular season, partner, we'd be talking about just how costly a mistake that was, but probably good for him to get it out of his system right now.
Just hope for him and the team it's not a sign of things to come.
Yeah, without a doubt. Plus, you got to worry about making the team. Those types of errors don't help you.
Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Charles, we get a look there at the draft class for this offense. What do you make of it?
Well, overall, I like the balance of the guys that they selected because, to me, they got a few guys who can step in and play right away, which is exactly what you want. But they also drafted for the future as well. They've got some guys who might need a year or two on the practice squad, so then we'll find out if they can actually play.
Thompson now to throw on third down. He'll get this into the hands of Hodge. An effective 7-yard third down conversion.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Ball carrier.
No gain on the play there. Second down. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Look at this, a tight end carry. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
And that will...
No. Why? I don't... Why the fuck is make... Wait. Deep breaths.
Incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Makes the score Browns 17, Eagles nothing.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory.
On the carry.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle, feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Mack Wilson leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
3rd down. 3rd and 12.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
A first down throw for Mayfield. And finding the
Over
tight
his
end Hooper.
fucking head.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Working out of the gun, Mayfield.
Give me that shit.
And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
Intended for Nick Chubb.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Kill, kill, kill.
Going to the air again with Mayfield. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end
On.
zone. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Here's McCray now to add the extra point. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And the fake attempt here not going to work. Got a little yardage, but not enough to get to the goal line.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number 1, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number 2, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it way to go to try and pick up some points?
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This will make it into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And an anxious moment or 2 there, but they do get him down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. They'll throw now on the final play.
Throw it. Huck that shit. Oh.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
No.
Picked up by M.J. Stewart. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action.
Wow.
So that PI call will give him one more play.
And it'll be an untimed play as well. Now the half will end after this one, unless there's another defensive penalty.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. So we have reached halftime. And boy, rough crowd. No football for 6 months already. We're skipping halftime. All right, let's get right back to the action. We're set for quarter 3. Probably not likely to see many starters in the second half as we get back at it underway in this preseason opener. Now James returning. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Jalen Hurts in this offense trotting back out. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. This is hauled in by Deontay Burnett. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. Now Holyfield, and he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 38-yard line.
A carry here for Holyfield. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Rolling to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. Hurts fumbles it. And this is picked up by the Browns.
Thank you, Jalen Hurts.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. Touchdown, Browns. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Stupid ass.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as he'll go for 2. Here's Chubb to try to run it in. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more.
But I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
And the Eagles dodge a bullet. They cover it up. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
57. Mike, 57.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Stepping up, he'll try and run. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Ogunjobi on the tackle. A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Got an open man, it's Burnett. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. 1st and 10 at the 19. They run with Holyfield. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
The 18-yard line. A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Here's Hurts to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Now loose football. The ball comes out. And this is picked up by the Browns. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A good pickup there, a 22.
1st and goal.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. 2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
Here's Marlon Mack. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. 3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. They'll try to run this one in. And he's in. Front Eagles touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Taking it about the 1. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. And we're back now here in Cleveland.
31.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10, right at the 30. He'll start things off with a handoff to Chubb. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd.
And again, it's Chubb. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line.
Nick Chubb.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. He's going to fire deep for Radley. It's caught inside the 25.
This is my moment.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Damian Radley, 66 yards. And the Browns continue to roll. They seemingly just continue to score at will. And as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
Extra point by McCrane, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this carries into the end zone. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And this showing really not a good one on either side of the ball, but still 3 more preseason games to follow and a lot to play for here for the guys on the field now as they're hoping to secure that roster spot. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, he'll set up to throw. And he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
It's our time, guys. It's our time.
A run for Nick Chubb. Oh, eluding the tackle. And now running right through him. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do. Late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
He'll have a first down inside the 10, and all the way down to the 5. The end result, 21 yards. An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs even though they're playing out on the perimeter. Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Second down and goal. Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Damian Ratley ready for the regular season with his second touchdown of the game. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Here's James. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And certainly this, not the performance that they were hoping for to begin the exhibition season, but still plenty to watch for in this 4th quarter. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And from the shotgun, he'll throw. And he's going to have the hook up to Burnett.
Right, yo.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
And
to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. The 1st down screen pass, good for 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
That's trash.
2nd down, here's Hurts. That's caught by the UCLA product. It's Caleb Wilson. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
A gain of 12. 1st down, Eagles.
Throwing is Hurts. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there. 2nd down.
Greedy Williams on the coverage.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Larry Ogunjobi able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
The down with the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the deep...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some 1st downs, just as good as running the football. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Flush to his right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side.
Thank you.
Give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling up.
Oh, and now they're going to fake it.
Jimmy.
That's complete right around the 8. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead.
All right, partner, one more time. Our whole lives, you put the ball on the 3-yard line, kick the extra point. 2015, they put it on the 15 to kick the extra point. 2016, they said, we're leaving it there. So if you want to fake it, that's a long way to go. And they got it done.
I was going to say they had a 15-yard play in their back pocket.
You don't see that on too many play sheets, do you?
No. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will make it into the end zone. And we see James. He will now return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this.
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Myles Garrett, his 2nd sack of the night.
A loss of 11 yards.
53-7.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Browns, and they're happy in the dog pound as we say so long from Cleveland.
Time to play the Broncos. You know what?
Tonight, from Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, it's week 2 of the NFL preseason on EA Sports. We'll see Drew Lock and the Denver Broncos taking on Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns.
A terrific night for football as EA Sports takes us to Empower Field at Mile High in the capital city of Denver, Colorado. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Denver Broncos. Brandon Gaunt and Charles Davis, happy to be back alongside you. And I'll tell you what, yes, it's just week 2 of the preseason, but now they've got one game under their belts. And a lot of guys trying to prove some stuff down on the field here today.
Not only that, these coaches like to win. And I used to think it really didn't matter who won in the preseason. Then I watched some of those shows that the NFL does. And you see the coaches in preseason after a loss jumping all over their guys. So I learned one valuable lesson. Wins and losses count no matter what time of year it is.
And off we go from Denver. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line.
Yep, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Wishing he had a mulligan. That's not how you want to start the game.
Not at all, because not only do you give up the penalty and good field position, but it just kills the momentum of your team as you start a game.
Now they run from the gun with Gordon. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
Throwing on second down.
Lock.
His throw incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and it's third down. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. A lot of guys to learn for these games.
No.
It's his running back, Melvin Gordon. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
At the 48-yard line.
Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want. But I will have to say, I think the number one thing he does best is tackle.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. The D-tackle Sheldon Richardson came barreling in for the sack.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack?
Give me that.
A pass for Sutton is intercepted.
You ain't catching
Greedy
me.
Williams picks it off.
You thought.
And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
They'll take over first and 10 at the 13-yard line.
From the
Boink. Thank you. No. Get the fuck on me. Owie. I got my first
13
down.
now. They work on 1st and 10.
All right. Nick Chubb.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb.
Go.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft.
Bradley Chubb.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
Given 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Mayfield looks to throw.
Give me that.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Austin Hooper there to make the grab. And the Browns have taken the early lead. And he's such a talented tight end. Just creates nightmarish type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover him? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You going to yell at me? You go cover him.
Hit it.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator. So now here in the second week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along, because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle, no mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Here's Mayfield. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A 1st down and then some. Give him 29 yards. Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. Quickly into the hands of Beckham. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. On the carry, it's Chubb. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
A gain of 3 on the play. And the Browns.
Mayfield being chased out left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. 15 yards. And the Browns add on to their lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts.
I'll be right back.
At the end of a season after a big year, the consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Extra point by McCrane, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Shotgun snap to Lock. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down.
Williams on the coverage.
To throw again. Lock. Oh, hit as he throws there. Incomplete. He was looking to go back to Sutton there. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
He was covered by Denzel Ward.
Now Lock again. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. The #1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. Taken from just outside the 30. Pushing his way through. Fighting through, and he's got space. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. 4 minutes to play here in quarter number 2. Mayfield off the play fake. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Mayfield. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Play fake. Mayfield. He sets to fire deep. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. But he will not come anywhere close to the first down marker, and that gives us a turnover on downs. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Boy, that's asking a lot of your punt team there, and they were not able to deliver.
It's asking an awful lot of the punt team there because if it's 4th and 4, 4th and 3, you've got a chance, right? That's a manageable distance to try and pick up when you're running a fake. But when that number's actually been in the weight room and it's pumped up like it was, that's difficult to do, all right? So you might even think to yourself, if I left my offense on the field, would they be able to pick that up? You could run a nice play and not get that distance.
After getting first down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Hold on. He didn't even get the first down. He just stopped. Can't even. That's wild.
Clock now to throw. Sets up the screen to Gordon. Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. This is taken around the 12. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now Nick Chubb and the Browns get set for their next possession. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, trying to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Looks for Beckham again. This time he finds him. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. First down, Cleveland, Mayfield to Beckham. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll roll him out right. He'll run it. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 16. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku. As the first half is winding down, and the Browns add 6 to their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
So up comes Mayfield as his guys will go for 2. Here's Chubb to try to run it in. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken in at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not
broken ribs. No.
You have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Ew,
okay,
I don't like that guy.
So much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that
he'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Charles, we get a look at the draft class here for this team. What do you think?
Well, I think for the most part, I do like what they did because, to me, they got some solid players in the early rounds. And then if I'm correct in my evaluation,
the one-handed catch.
And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Beautiful catch. That catch was okay, we're going to zoom it in. Ooh, boom! Ah, give me that. Ah, picture perfect. You gotta see this catch. Yup. That catch was beautiful.
How about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
All right. Oh, broken ankles.
Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And he'll be down close to the 1st down marker as he gets this to the Broncos' 29. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
Brings up 3rd.
Off play action. Thompson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. They sure went against conventional wisdom, calling a pass on 3rd and inches.
Had to be thinking to themselves, the defense is going to overcommit against the run. Should be an easy pitch and catch. Didn't turn out that way.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Operating from the gun, Thompson. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Broncos will take over on downs. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Defense wins championships, baby. 55.
They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Rolling to him, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there is just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Now a pass hauled in downfield.
That's how
he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And that'll be incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down.
5 yards on the play. And
from the gun, Thompson. Flushed out right.
Oh, he's fast.
He may try and run for the... And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. That touchdown, Charles, the first rushing TD of his rookie year.
I don't know that he's going to be Lamar Jackson or Russell Wilson or Josh Allen at this stage of his career, but he's got youth on his side, those young legs. He put them to good use there, didn't he?
Extra point by McCrane, up and good. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. KJ Hamler returning it. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Hamler on the return. The Broncos take over 1st and 10.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Well, we can talk about it like it's just a basic route, but how about the timing on this one? Lined up on the right, runs a deep in route, and how about the throw? Right on the money. Bam, puts it right in there and on his hands. Nice completion, really good pickup.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Here's Freeman. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. 2nd down and 3. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Meeks, and his throw is incomplete. Deshaun Hamilton, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
From the gun on 3rd down. Meeks into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by M.J. Stewart, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. I'm sure as a rookie, even though this is preseason, Charles, interceptions, you got to eat at you quite a bit.
They certainly do, but here's the problem that he's confronted with. He's not the high draft pick. He's not seen as the next guy. He's got to prove himself to everyone and get noticed. So maybe instead of taking the safer throw, you press it a little bit. Try and push it downfield, try and fit into a tight window. And sometimes interceptions result.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big...
And now
they
to
pay
the
me
races
extra.
down the right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Dearness Johnson, 53 yards. And the Browns are pouring it on.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the 1st half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the 2nd half, that got done.
To throw is Thompson, operating from the gun. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down and a 21-yard gain. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
First and goal, Melvin Gordon. And the Broncos are going to have a first and goal as some good running there gets him down to about the 2-yard line. Knock it on the door. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be second and goal. They'll try and punch it in. Gordon, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
The play lost a yard. It's now third and goal.
Operating from the gun. Meeks under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been his game.
37. Broncos 3.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
At their own 29-yard line.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed it. Keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining. Here in this fourth quarter. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning.
Hey, check Mike 47. Check Mike 47. Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Johnson. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. That one looks like he'll throw here. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Kadero Hodge, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
This is the tight end, Njoku. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the 1st.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think
now they're going to try this again. It's another fake. And the fake will work. He's going to have a 1st down. What a play. It's a 1st down as they get 19 yards on the fake punt.
Always enjoy a good fake, but I really enjoy it when he throws the football from punt formation. Now, you were a kicker and a punter in high school. Did you ever do that?
One time, threw to my man Tim Jones on a botched field goal attempt. Hit him right in the numbers, and Jonesy just dropped it.
Oh, the poor guy. Well, we had a fake punt here, and this guy caught it, so I think he and his friends will be okay with that one.
And he loves his play call, right? He's been waiting for this one all week long.
Been had that arm loosened up ever since they got to the stadium.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire 2nd half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them in just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted.